Today I'm joined by Mike Rosenstrike, the Managing Director of Hexagone Resources. Mike, thank you for your time.
My pleasure, David.
Mike, over the past month, the company's released two announcements regarding upstream and downstream test work on concentrate from your Macintosh project in Western Australia. Can you give us an overview?
Sure. I'm talking about the upstream and the downstream in terms of the upstream being near the resource, the geology of the resource, and the downstream being the processing of the graphite material that we produce. So in terms of understanding the upstream, we want to get a better idea of the geological and the mineralogical variation around the deposits, things like flake size and elemental distributions. If we understand that mineralogical variation around the deposits, then we understand exactly what's going into the processing plant, and that underwrites our ability to produce the same material to the same high standard consistently all the time. No surprises. And that's what you need to have an effective downstream. If the downstream plant knows exactly what's coming into it in terms of steady state, that means, again, you can have consistent quality of material coming in. Now, the test work that we're doing in the downstream is all about exploring what does our graphite, what attributes does it really possess, and what can we do with it? And so we've announced a range of test work results over the last 3 to 4 weeks that starts to give people an insight that we can do a lot more with our material than batteries, and also endorsing the fact that it's got positive battery attributes. So in the middle, between the upstream and the downstream, in the middle sits the processing plant, the plant that we would build on site. And we're also about to embark on test work to optimise the aspects of that middle plant, operating costs, capital costs, and the product specifications. So that's how it all links up.
Okay, so where does your recent announcement on expandable graphite fit into this?
That's the downstream, David. We've just completed some expansion test work, and we've got a really good result of 220% expansion factor for our coarse material, the material that's greater than 60 mesh size. That's well above average, and what's more, we've achieved that by using really simple, low-cost reagents. No complex treatments, just standard acid mix, and those are the results that we've achieved. So this is now really starting to underpin our movement into this product diversification and premium products. We've achieved this with simple, low-cost chemicals. And so given that we're trying to make a premium priced product and we're using this low-cost inputs, I think we're really starting to make a very strong case for a high margin product. Here we have prepared a plus 60 mesh size sample by intercalation. Intercalation is where we insert the anions from sulfuric and nitric acid between the graphene layers. Then when the intercalated graphite is subjected to sudden and high temperature, it literally pops like popcorn to create this light, fluffy graphite worms.
It's very interesting to see that, Mike. How does that relate to the test work you completed in early November?
Well, in early November, we announced that with our new partnership with the laboratory and the researchers in North America, that we actually had a genuine, large, super jumbo-sized flake endowment. Something like 80% of the flake that came from our Emperor deposit, the concentrate, had this endowment of very large flakes. And that's something new, and that's really positive in terms of moving to that premium pricing end. Now we've demonstrated that that coarse material is expandable. And that now takes us into another pricing band range. So we've gone from having large flake, which has a certain premium pricing element, to now expandable large flake, which takes on another pricing premium. And that's not the end of our test work. We've got more to come. And those test work results are important in terms of feeding back into the middle ground. So we're doing this downstream test work, and now that information is telling us information that we need for our processing plant that we plan to build at site. For example, plus 60 mesh material is expandable, it's valuable, and we need to make sure that our process design caters for that. So you can start to see how the material, the information that we're gathering from the downstream and the material information we're gathering from the upstream is coming together in terms of these improvements to the process plant that we've talked about in terms of operating costs, capital cost, and operational performance.
What does that mean to the business? And what is the real takeaway for investors?
I think that we're really starting to open the door on this process of product diversification, or a portfolio of products that I've been talking about. When we first started in about March or April, we really had one product. It was designed for the battery anode industry, and we had very tight specifications around that. Now we are looking again at the attributes of our flake and at the ore body, and we've now discovered that we have this large flake endowment. We've also confirmed that our material is highly suitable for the battery anode material. We've confirmed now that we have this large flake endowment, and now we've confirmed that that large flake is expandable. And each one of those steps has a pricing premium involved. The last time we spoke, I gave you an example where if I made 10 tonnes of concentrate and sold 3 tonnes at a premium price, and the balance, the 7 tonnes, at a lower price, I had a certain average price. Well, now I think I could make the same argument to you that would say, I think now, conservatively, from Emperor, we can make 60% coarse flake concentrate, not 30%. And the balance, the 40%, would be into the battery anode market. So at current prices, that would, at say 60% coarse flake, at say $3,000 US a tonne, which is an achievable price for the higher purity end, and 40% into the battery anode market, we could be looking at sort of basket prices of, well over $2,000, $2,200 a tonne. So that's the impact for investors. We are really now demonstrating diversity and premium products, and people should be getting an idea as to how that marketing strategy in terms of a diverse portfolio is feeding into that revenue side of our study outcomes.
So what comes next for Hexagone?
The next part of the puzzle is we've talked about flake size. We've now talked about expandability. Well, a key part that drives value is purity. So right now we're doing test work on the purity. What purity levels can we achieve in our material? We know that our ore body has very benign mineralogical attributes in terms of being able to make a high quality concentrate, and that makes the purity phase easier, and now we want to see how easy it makes it. And so right now we're doing test work looking at purity of the concentrate, and that will be not the final piece of the puzzle, but it's kind of the final stage of a suite of test work, and it will really give us an idea as to how those revenue assumptions will fit in.
Mike, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
Look, all of this work wraps up into our ongoing project financing and offtake discussions. As we're able to demonstrate the attributes not only of the ore but also of the product that we're looking to produce, we're getting a lot more interest from offtake parties and financiers. And so this financing and offtake process is always bubbling along, and I can tell you with the range of results that we've released recently that we're getting a lot more interest and a lot more activity on that side.
Mike, thank you for your time.
It's my pleasure, David. Thank you.